everyone at this point knows who Heaven's Gate is. Everyone has heard of what happened to most of the members and their beliefs in a way. There's been many videos on YouTube. There's been countless documentaries. HBO not too long ago released a video documentary on the subject known as Heaven's Gate, the Cult of Cults. But what if I told you that there's someone on the internet still promoting Marshall Applewhite's and Betty Nettles' theology and philosophy? And no, I'm not talking about the people running the Heaven's Gate website, which you can still find. I'm going to be talking about someone who's on YouTube promoting their ideas. In this video, we're going to be talking about 3SPM. Now, before I go into who he is, I want to give a little backstory on how I found him. So, everyone knows there's like millions of videos on the subject of Heaven's Gate. And that is no surprise, that is no secret. Well, so I was just learning more about their beliefs, their philosophy while watching the many videos talking about them and the documentaries on YouTube about them. When I ran across this YouTube channel known as Heaven's Gate Remastered. Now, this is interesting because if you go to the about page, of this YouTube's channel, you will see that the channel itself claims that the files have been painstakingly and lovingly remastered into full HD when possible. So, yeah, a little bit interesting, isn't it? Well, when you go to, so I don't know if this person believes in their philosophy or theology, but when you go to his channels section or tab, you will find 3SPM, but you will also find the Heaven's Gate database. And if you click on the Heaven's Gate database, go to channels, you'll see these channels here, 3SPM being one of them. Now, you may notice there's another channel called Hercules. You go here, go to his channels, or his about section, sorry. He's been on here since 2006, and this channel has been on since 2005. So yeah, there's definitely a network of these guys. Now, I can't tell if these people believe in the religion or they're just like me who's interested in learning about topics such as this, but it is worthy to note, I believe. And when you go to 3SPM, you go to channels, you can find Hercules right there. And you can find other spiritualist channels on here. Now, that's how I found 3SPM. I think I actually found him long before that, just, through recommended. And I was wondering, well, who is this person? And you may see him and think, wow, he looks very familiar. Well, that's because this is the same person who was on multiple interviews through like Inside Edition and other news outlets.
Tiendo gave us the tools to brainwash ourselves. Literally wash out our humanness from our brains.
Interviewing as an ex-cult member. And keep in mind, he is an ex-member of Heaven's Gate initially. Like, he left, after being in the cult for 19 years, he decided to leave and go do his own thing. Well, when you hear him in some of these interviews and when you hear him in the HBO documentary, well, I haven't seen the HBO documentary, but the trailer of the HBO documentary, you'll notice he doesn't sound like a cult member still. He sounds like, he disavows them. Well, that's until I was wondering. I was like, I saw his channel and I noticed he was posting content in, his most recent videos where he had Marshall Applewhite and Betty Nettles in his thumbnails. And, he was going on about Revelation chapters 6 and so, which, the Heaven's Gate cult really pushed on people. And, I myself am a very religious person, and I'm not going to be here bashing religion or anything, but it's interesting. The reason they pushed those chapters, and especially Revelation, is because Marshall Applewhite and Betty Nettles claim to be, the people of Revelation. In fact, if you go to 3SPM's About page, you can hear what he has to say about it. To help people decide who give their allegiance to. Like it or not, it's someone or something. You will hear that what many consider religious terminology on this site, but I assure you it is not. However, that's where the ancient manuscripts and papyrus ended up possessions of. This site is dedicated to the sharing of my experience as a student of Tea and Doe for 19 years in person with them, and then after leaving, returning to their service to date. I will provide evidence that whether atheist, New Age, spiritual, Christian, religious, secular, humanist could benefit from exploring. There is absolutely no intention of trying to build this into a humanly successful movement, as we see with virtually all teachers everywhere. I don't claim to be a teacher. I am a student but Tea and Doe were way beyond all others, evidencing being the return of the one called Jesus Christ and his Father, who came incarnate into a female vehicle body, aka horse clothing. Now, he actually does, so this basically solidified almost in my mind, like, hey, this person actually does believe in Marshall Applewhite's and Betty Nettles' beliefs. Now, Marshall Applewhite is Doe, and Betty Nettles is T. Keep that in mind, because that's how he refers to them. He does not refer to them by their real names. If you're interested to know his name, he's publicly said it's Sawyer. Now, I don't know if this is what the cult gave him or if it's actually his name, but that is what he goes by. And so I decided, I was going to start digging through his channel to just make sure he still believes in the Heaven's Gate religion. Well, I even commented on his channel asking, do you believe in the teachings of Marshall Applewhite? I haven't heard a response yet, but I started digging more and I found his most popular videos. His most popular video being a song about Tea and Doe, Betty Nettles and Marshall Applewhite. And it's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. It's very interesting. Take a look.
This is a song about Tea and Doe in 75 named Deep and Bow. They returned in carnal flesh like a son of man, a woman and a male, yet the father and her son. From the literal heavens, their task begun with the comic Kahotep to light up their way. As the two witnesses, they were shot down in the press.
So yeah, he basically gives a rundown of who they are in certain sections. And if you don't know, Marshall Applewhite claimed to be Jesus Christ. He claimed to be Moses. From what I've heard, like, Marshall Applewhite claims that he is no longer Marshall Applewhite, but it was Doe, like this alien person, came down and possessed him to be a prophet of sorts. And this same Doe possessed Jesus, he possessed Moses, he possessed all these other people. So yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy, but he genuinely believes it. Sawyer, 3SPM, genuinely, like, believes this, and, you know, will die fighting for this idea about Marshall Applewhite, aka Doe. Well, you will also find, when going through his most popular videos, an interview with him on Inside Edition. I highly recommend you watch both of these videos. It is something else. In it, he goes off and talks about, you know, how he was almost, you know, snipped, I guess you could say, parts of his body off. And you could find literally millions of videos, and even the documentary talks about what I mean when I say that, through a coin toss. Well, he lost the coin toss. Well, he says, I won the coin toss, but I kind of lost too.
The big part of the group was that the way you get to the heaven is by overcoming the human. The vehicle is necessary for that. We need to have our bodies in order to learn lessons. It's crucial. You can't do it any other way that I know about, and that T and Do talked about. And so the overcoming process means overriding things that might be natural to the vehicle. The body doesn't want to die generally, right? And the mind is part of the body. I'm not talking about just the brain. I'm talking about the spirit as equivalent with mind, which occupies a soul. But I want to get off the track. But the object is for that soul to take control of that body, so that body is a servant of the soul. So a reservation, you might have a reservation, like Doe asked me actually right before the castrations, when I was supposed to be castrated. I wanted to be castrated. And
why castration?
Well, wait a minute. He asked me when we were right there in that operating room, about to have the first castration. He asked me, "Do you have any reservations?" I said, well, my vehicle doesn't really want my body. We call them vehicles. My vehicle really isn't looking forward to it, but I'm overriding my vehicle. Those are my exact words. And he said, He just, he shook his head. He understood what I was saying. And then we flipped a coin to see who would go first between me and the other person. And he won the coin toss. And that was made a big joke of in the New York Times, in the Time magazine when I gave that story in 1997.
Did he win?
Because I lost the coin toss, and so I didn't get castrated. If I won the coin toss, I would have been castrated first.
Did you win or lose?
Well, that's a matter of perspective. I mean, am I in the right place right now? I guess I am, because I'm here and I'm still connected. I'm still trying to be connected. So I'm going to get another chance. We all get lots of chances,
But
the next level is like that.
why the castration inside the group?
Well, for a long time, when Doe was considering castration, because it was years in the making, he was concerned that a lot of the strength that a soul gets when taking over a human vehicle comes from telling that vehicle no to sensuality, no to sexual thoughts, no to wanting to have a relationship, no to wanting to get your rocks off playing a rugged football game. You know, no to all that sensation, that passion. That's a human passion, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with any of that on the human level. But to make it to the next level where they don't have any of that, you have to prepare your soul for that, which is a mental preparation, and you have to be able to say no. So you're overriding is what I'm saying. So you might have a reservation, but you're overriding that reservation and saying, no, I don't have a reservation. I mean, you may think that's not honest, but it depends on whether you believe a soul really exists and, you know, all that.
Keep in mind their belief is that their vehicles, their bodies, you know, they call their bodies vehicles, you know, is here, and you have to reject humanity, basically. So, you know, things like that are not allowed, so to speak. And, you know, a lot of people, some people left because of having to do that. Now, I think it's also interesting when you hear him talking about when the people passed away, sadly, through the, you know, mass offing themselves that they did. He calls it them laying down their lives. And I'm pretty sure in one of the videos, and I think it's in the interviews, he claims that the laying down of their lives was like when Jesus died for all of our sins.
Well, yes, he did. He did. And when he said to his disciples, right before he was going to turn himself in to be killed, which he knew would happen, and he actually said that no man takes my life from me. He said, I'm giving my life. I'm laying down my life for my brother. It's the greatest love that you can show. And he was giving his life for his Father in the task that he was given to do. And that, so he said to his disciples that they would have to drink the same cup of his blood. They would have to pick up their cross and bear it. And that was a direct reference to they would give their blood. They would die for him. By telling the information, by expressing, because they would hate him because they would hate them because they hated their master.
Now, of course, I think that's absolutely insane, but, you know, I genuinely think he believes that their dying was okay. Like, he even says, like, I think they're on a spaceship somewhere going to who knows where.
Where do you think those 39 people are today?
They're on a spacecraft, or maybe multiple spacecrafts. Could be inside of a planet, could be inside Pluto, could be inside Ceres, dwarf planet Ceres, or inside Saturn, or the moon, maybe, because there's some indications that the moon might be a spacecraft.
You honestly believe that?
I believe it's possible. I don't know exactly where they are. I don't know which of those are spacecrafts. Because when I say I know something, it's because I believe 100% of my teachers, and if they said it or indicated it, then I feel like I know it. I know other things, you know, but from my own experience, like if I take a match and I burn myself, I know it's going to pain, you know.
Right.
But you know, other than that, I don't know anything.
And he believes that they're either that or they're in the next level. He genuinely believes that. Like, you can go to his channel and find that. And when I was browsing the channel, I also noticed something. He responds to most comments. Now, he hasn't responded to me yet. I mean, I just think he hasn't gotten to me. I mean, the dude probably gets like hundreds of comments a day. 'Cause, I mean, he uploads so much. I mean, he uploads pretty much twice a week, and these are like 4-hour live streams. And he, and if you go to his music video of T and Doe, dedicated to T and Doe, this is very sad. You can find a comment saying, "I can't believe the foolishness of all you people. How dare you all ignore the irrefutable proof that our Lord and Savior, the way and the light, is Shrek? Can you not see what is right in front of you? Watch the movies, holiday specials, and all. It's a spiritual exercise like no other. You Farquads and Drex will soon find out that you've been so wrong this whole time. Turn your lives around and find Shrek. I implore you, I have absolute irrefutable proof that Shrek is our one true ogre lord. Shrek came out on April 22nd. You know what else happened on April 22nd? Earth Day. And Earth, like ogres, has layers. Nothing could be clearer. The Shrekening will come one day, and you'll wish you had converted." Now, everyone in their right mind, when seeing a comment like this, would say, this is a troll. This is someone trying to, mess with you on the internet, playing a joke. If you go to a religious video, for example, talking about Jesus and anything, I mean, any religious video, if it's, a Muslim, a Jewish person, anything, and you'll have someone in the comments trying to be edgy, typing in, "Oh, you're just a Christ-tard," and all that. It happens all the time. Well, Sawyer, 3SPM, responded to this comment, saying, "You actually may have something there. I've been pondering who the green horse in Rev 6 is. I can't think of a better guy than Shrek. With the new age everything is groovy attitude, and green like the Martians, and right along with the dissertations of words Lord and Savior, and his bestiality to woo the mass of mammalians, I guess you say, might make a good comic strip too. I know the truth hurts, so like good old Gandhi said, first they will, then they will, and then you will." And then someone responds, "Shrek lol." So yeah, that happened. You were not, I'm not making that up. I showed it to you on the video here. I think he's a very gullible person. I think he's, he believes that Marshall Applewhite and Betty Nettles are like the saviors coming from God and all of this. So it wouldn't surprise me if, he then starts to believe in Shrek being in the Bible. Now, something else you'll notice when browsing through his channel is one of two things. One, he absolutely believes in aliens. He believes in the idea of Luciferians, I guess you say, that Applewhite promoted. This basically means that all religions and I think world leaders are run by Luciferians, basically aliens coming down to possess people. And you will also find, and this is very interesting, you will find videos of lectures and such of Marshall Applewhite. You'll even find a song directed towards T and Doe when he was in the cult and when the members were in when the cult was still around. It's a video called "When You Know T and Doe." It's very weird. It's a song, and I'm gonna make a guess that he's the one playing the piano here, because I do think he's musically talented. I mean, you can see in his most popular video, he knows how to play multiple instruments and all that. And it's very fascinating to listen to this song. Here, you listen to it. Take a listen.
The name of this song is When You Know, T and O by The Class.
Let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. When you sing, you begin with do, re, mi. When it's time, you begin with do and ti, ti and do. The rest on earth just happen to be do and ti.
So yeah, it's fascinating. It's very interesting. It's very different, I guess you could say, than a lot of other things, because like he really is. He has this information that a lot of people haven't even found yet. Like, I have never seen anyone on YouTube or on the documentaries I found on YouTube talking about the subject, talking about the songs they sang to T and Do and to them. So this is very interesting. Now I want to give a little more. I want to give a little bit more of a background on Sawyer. Why did Sawyer join the cult? And why did he revert back to the cult? Now, he made 2 videos called Sawyer, a background summoning plus joining T and Do, and why I still believe in T and Do. I implore you to watch both of these videos because they do give a background on who this person is and his beliefs, and these 2 videos 100%, 110% solidified my belief that he actually does believe in the Heaven's Gate cult. Now, basically, I'm going to give you a rundown of some of the things that I think are key points. He grew up as a Catholic. He wasn't very religious growing up. He started to party more in his teens and 20s, and in doing so he did a lot of if you know what I mean, and other things, and he eventually started seeking more spiritual things. He was at a very low point in his life. I mean, he said he was doing pretty much anything that didn't have needles, and he was very vulnerable, it seems. He was, it's odd to hear him say this, but in a way it seemed that the cult took him in. He, after 19 years, left due to, I think, it was hard for him, I think, was his reason for giving. And when he left, he says, like, he still had this kind of belief in them. He still, believed in their teachings. Like, he still agreed with them. And you'll find that later on, after they laid down their lives, he said he kind of, and so, he says, like, he still had a belief in them. Well, he then said he kind of went back to doing his own thing, trying to figure out life and all. But something else I found interesting when listening to this video is he practically gave up his marriage and his child or children for this cult. I mean, as far as I know, I think he lives alone. But, like, he gave them up because if you saw in the interviews before, his wife didn't agree with it. He was spending more and more time with the cult. And because of that, his relationship pretty much fell apart.
You tell us that...
Because I'm 24.
It's beautiful outside. Look at that. You tell us that your wife left you because your partner left you because she didn't believe, correct?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way.
How would you put it? What did she
She
think?
doesn't believe in what I believe in. Okay, that's for sure. I mean, but but that's not the reason she left me. I mean, she tried to kick me out actually first, but I wouldn't leave. So I said, "You're gonna have to drag me out of here." But anyway,
Be
but
careful with that bouncing on the banging on the floor. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Um,
But she doesn't.
No, but what happened was our relationship deteriorated because I started putting more and more energy into my writing and talking on the internet with people about Heaven's Gate and all that. And so basically the house was suffering, and she wanted me to fix this and fix that, and sometimes I didn't really know how to do it, and so not that I wasn't doing some things, but I was doing things, but I wasn't doing as much as she wanted. And then we had some arguments to where we talked about God and stuff, and I did say some things that I guess put her on the defensive in a sense, as if like I know it all and she doesn't, and that didn't go over well either. And so all those things caused our relationship to go downhill, and that was pretty much the brunt of why we broke up. But the way I see it is that it was a joint response of the next level on their spacecrafts members helping everybody have what they wanted. They helped her have what she wanted, be without me, by bringing another man into her life that she fell in love with. And that man was my music buddy, who I invited to come into the house to fall in love with my ex-wife, or ex-partner, because we weren't married. But, and he needed a place to live, and that's why I wanted to help him. So, but he was freaking out when she was coming on to him. And I told him, I said, go with it. I said, it's painful for me, but go with it, because we're done.
And something else is of note. People actually, I think, agree with him. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying those are trolls. Those people are trolls. And to a certain extent, I will agree with that. However, when you look at some of the things that are being said on these comment sections, I think you will have a change of mind when thinking. First off, his videos get hundreds of views on average, in general. He does a stream, he does a video. In fact, his critique of the HBO documentary, which, yes, he made a whole critique video on the HBO documentary, got over almost 500 views or so, I think. And another one got like 400. Well, then I looked at, in general, he gets hundreds of views on a regular video. Now, I know that for YouTube, that's not a lot of views, it's not, it isn't, but keep in mind that Marshall Applewhite only needed 38 people to belong to his cult. He literally, had only 38 people, and they agreed with everything he said, and you know what happened next. So, yeah, I find it interesting. And in some of the comment sections that I found talking about his religion in general, I'll just show you some of the comments. God bless man. God bless you, man. Love your channel. Love your book. I believe something truly happened with Doe. Why wouldn't they communicate with you without a biological vehicle? This shouldn't be an issue at all. I don't know if he ever did. Now, this one's interesting. Thank you. I really appreciate what you're doing. You are the only member of Heaven's Gate that is still around. You have information on the next level. Just the other night, I was outside thinking of T and Doe and saw two flashes of in the sky, 10 seconds apart from each other, in the same spot. It wasn't a plane, comet, or meteor. I know what it is. It's because I appreciate the next level, and it's amazing what's happened to me. I believe Marshall Applewhite had it right. I believe that he was dead on the exactly on with exactly what the Bible describes. Please don't judge me for this comment. It's just my little input. Videos are amazing. I have been praying and communicating telepathically with T, and it has helped me stay off, you and just become a better, more wholesome person. Long live Doe. Praise be to the next level above human. Yeah, yeah, and here's another one. I contacted the email on the Heaven's Gate website to request the audio classroom tapes. I received an answer quickly stating that they are available for personal use and must not be copied or redistributed. I replied back saying that I only want to use the personal and don't intend to copy or such. I never received a reply back. Could you help me in locating the audio? I watched all the videos and read books. Thanks. Well, um, then 3SPM responds saying, basically, I'll get you the tapes and all that. Just email me and I'll send it to you. She thanks him, and then someone asks, so did you receive the tapes or the information? And again, this could be someone who's just curious like me, but it's obvious that there are people who are genuinely believing this. Like, there was one person who I saw on a comment section, I think it was on the Heaven's Gates lectures, right, who asked, is there ever going to be another time where I can ascend or something like that? Like, this is serious, and a lot of people are going to the comment sections making fun of him and mocking them. Like, I know it's funny. Marshall Applewhite looks like a weird dude. He's got those, huge eyes. He's a weird looking person. However, I think this is serious. I think, what this person is doing is very dangerous. Now, so far, he may be playing with fire here, and someone may actually harm themselves in making these videos. I mean, again, I can't say with 100% certainty that he promotes it. I don't think he does. I don't think he does promote that. But, if he genuinely thinks they're on a spacecraft or they're on, another planet right now, the next level, after doing what they did, then I don't know. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But this isn't a joke. Stop making fun of this man in his comment sections. That is not helping. In fact, it's quite... There's something wrong mentally with him if he is willing to literally say that Shrek could be in the Bible and that, that commenter had a point in saying that. There is something wrong. And, again, people are going to say, well, just let him be a crazy old man. I think he needs help. Now, I don't know if there's anything we can do. He's dead set on believing in this cult still. He posts about it. He constantly uploads, more and more videos on the subject. I don't think there's anything he can do. But, yeah. I'm just hoping that he will seek the help that he needs. And if not, I hope that no one gets hurt in the process of him making videos. Anyway, that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.